my name is Shantelle and I'm the head of Tunstall 365. Tunstall 365 is our direct-to-consumer offer within Tunstall, which is launching very soon. We are a very small industry, so we might have crossed paths, and if you're thinking that's a familiar name or familiar face, I previously led the Adult Social Care Tech Fund in the Department of Health and Social Care, before more recently being the Chief Operating Officer of the TSA. Before all of that, way back when, many years ago, I was a care assistant for about 8 years, and so that frontline experience sort of drives everything that I do today and every decision that I make. As Jerry touched on, Tunstall has been here since the birth of our industry. We celebrate our 70th birthday next year, and we're really proud to still design, manufacture, supply. You can see cash there in the image. All of those technologies. We also have an alarm receiving centre, our own engineers that will go out, install and maintain all of our devices and other people's devices. So we really have that full end-to-end understanding of how the systems operate. Today, you're going to learn a lot from a lot of speakers. You've got a lot to digest and a lot to take in. So I'm going to focus on two key areas. I'm going to look at the technology and then I'm going to look at people. And within those two areas, hopefully I'll give you some nuggets of information, my own learnings from not just in this role, but in previous as well, that hopefully you could take away into your day-to-day as you're making decisions for the right technologies to support people. If I could get the next slide. So the first thing I would say is more recently in our industry, we talk a lot about the fact that it's not about the technology. It's not about the technology. It's about the services that wrap around the technology. It's about the support that the technology enables. And in my opinion, that is true to an extent, but I would sort of change that slightly to say, in reality, it's not about the device. It absolutely is about the technology, but it shouldn't be about the device. And that was always one of the challenges when I was in the Department of Health and Social Care. It was really, really difficult to scale nationally and not be focused on the device. And one of the real successes that we had in the Department of Health and Social Care was the introduction of digital social care records. And we saw that nationally scale one particular technology, but we always knew the challenge with that would be the balance in that that's great for that particular technology because anybody in receipt of adult social care needs a care plan. But beyond that, the technology should be very specific to what the individual wants and what the individual needs. And we still need to be able to make technology choices that enable all of that to happen. And that's a really, really fine balance. So what I would say is when we're thinking about the technologies that we're purchasing, thinking about the right infrastructure and all of that stuff that people don't see and that the user using the technology doesn't see. But they're the things that are really, really important. And what's been great for me to see after leaving the department is that they're now starting to step into the space of thinking about standards and thinking about their work with others to sort of set that evidence standards framework. That's been a long time coming, but I think it's great to see that they're sort of recognizing that position in the market and where they can really support. Next slide. So then moving on from a technology perspective, the bit that's really important to us all is the people perspective. And as I said before, from our perspective in Tunstall, the device should be really centred around what it is that the individual wants. And again, in the Department of Health and Social Care, we tried this with the Adult Social Care Tech Fund, but again, it was personalised to the area. It wasn't personalised to the individual themselves. And to give a little bit of flavour to this, my husband's nan is 90. I'm the head of Tunstall 365 and I could not convince her to use telecare because in her mind it's for old people. But she loves Alexa. She loves Amazon Alexas and the show. She loves TikTok. She loves all things around social media. And she will use, if she needs help and she gets stuck, she will use her Amazon Alexa to call somebody in the family for help. And apologies to anybody who's listening who Alexas I've just set off with that word. So apologies. But she didn't see that she's using technology to support her to live her most independent, best life that she possibly can. And when she decided 36 hours ago that actually she might need a little bit of help, within 24 hours of that decision, she's actually moved in and living now with myself and my husband, because she made the decision and recognized that she needed telecare at a point where it was really too late, because in her mind it's a stigma and it's a technology that is in her mind for old people. So that's a real challenge that we need to overcome, is how do we help people recognize that, but also how do we enable people to use the technologies that are really right for them. And so for us in Tunstall, we recognise that the technologies that support somebody shouldn't stop at the four walls of their home. And we are very much talking this morning about how we support people to stay in their own homes. But for us, that support should be beyond the home, because what we don't want to do is inadvertently put barriers up to somebody then realising that actually this support, this comfort that I've got at home of technology stops at the garden path. And that's not what we want. We want to be able to enable a full wraparound service of support. But for us to do that, we need the right platform to enable that to happen. So next slide, please. And so for us in Tunstall, to make that happen, many of you will have probably heard of ILOS, which is coming soon. This is sort of our equivalent, I would probably say, to the social care interoperability platform that many of you have seen is in development with NHS England and DHSC. And that's because they recognise that regardless of all of the technologies that we funded in my time, before my time there and beyond, they've recognised that actually it's about the interoperability of devices. And so ILOS, I would consider, is sort of our equivalent operating system to enable the fact that it then doesn't matter what technology somebody chooses to use in their own home. And I'll finish with a little snippet, a little teaser of what's to come for Tunstall 365 and what the future looks like. This is a video. We are all virtual, so who knows what might happen. But if you could try for me, please, onto the next slide. And of course, there's no audio. She is saying hello. She is saying, I'm Alexa, I'm here to support. Unfortunately, there's no video with it. There's no audio with it, but it gives you a little bit of a flavour of what's to come for Tunstall 365. We're very excited to be working with partners such as this one to enable a person to choose the technology that they want to choose in their home, that then has the support and the alarm receiving centre and all of the other support that somebody needs that wraps around the technology. So again, thank you for your time. You've got lots to digest over the course of the next few speakers, but if you want to hear more, if I can give you any advice, support, either based on my background or my time in Tunstall, then please get in touch. And Jerry, thank you.